this part is truly an overview, and you are actually going to receive this PowerPoint in your email, so you can go through it in more detail. I did not want to print it out. It's very lengthy, and to see it appropriately, you would need to do full-page slides. That was a lot of trees, so we're going to do the overview like this, and then you will receive this either later today or early tomorrow through email, okay? So how many of you, when you applied for Focus, how many of you were actually the one who filled out the application by show of hands, please? Okay. How many of you did just the application? It was just one page and that's all you had to do. Okay. How many of you did an application and entry survey? There was 2 items to complete. Okay. The reason I asked just to get a feel for the room, because some applications came in before we had the entry survey and some did not. Some did the whole component. So what we're going to have you do, being the first group, since the database is live now, you're going to be the first group who's actually going to go in to the database system, and you're going to actually do your application again, but you're going to do it live in this system. Okay, and that's our starting point. You're already in Focus, but that is our starting point to gather information from your program. So, like I said, you will receive this PowerPoint to help guide you through that, and you will have until next Friday, August 14th, to complete the application and entry survey online. Okay, so as we're going through this, if you have questions, let me know. There is an email address that goes to one of our folks over in IT, and she happens to be here. Erica Grong is here. And so your email will go to Erica. There's also a phone number that would also go to Erica for support, and the phone is checked once a day, as the email is checked once a day as well, to make sure that we're giving support to programs if they have any technical issues and something's giving you an error message or is just not working within the database. So like I said, this has been a long process to get the database up and running, and you guys are the first group that's going to be putting your applications live into the system. We do have a small cohort of directors that I trained last week that are the first group of directors who were in cohorts 1 through 4 that are actually working with us live in the database right now as well. And they're a little bit further along than you guys are. Their applications were put in by some of our staff, and they are actually getting in and trying to figure out the ins and outs of the database right now. And we're going to bring all of the programs currently in Focus. We currently have, excluding your group, we have 169 programs in, and we hope to have everybody trained by the end of October. So that's our goal. So what you're going to do, you're going to do your application, you're going to do your entry survey. So if you have your paper copy still, just put it in front of you, plug the information in, make it a little bit faster for yourselves. Once it is in, then the Office of Child Development is able to see, and you are coded as submitted. You have submitted your application, you have submitted your entry survey. If anything is missing, they will mark it as incomplete, and an email will be generated to send back to you saying, hey, sorry you missed this part. Please make sure you complete it. When you complete it again and resubmit, it gets back to the submitted status, and then they review it again. Okay? So make sure we don't miss any components of that. Right now, you guys are going to sit at a submitted status. Until you can go through deeper training with me, you're going to stay as submitted for right now until I teach you how to do more in the database. Okay? What happens then is once I have you guys in a training, then the Office of Child Development goes in and marks you guys as in Focus on the database, and then you're able to be in the live production system. Okay? This is a lot. Like I said, it's just an overview. If you have questions, please let me know. But like I said, you will receive this PowerPoint to your email. That way you can sit and play with it at your leisure, home, office, wherever that might be. So our introduction to the new online Focus application and entry survey. So our focus is our program directors and our educators. So eventually you are going to be training your educators how to enter their information into the database. Okay, so to fill out an educator profile and then to submit an online Focus application and entry survey. That's our purpose in showing you this system today. Before you begin, make sure you have a valid email address, your license number, if you're accredited, make sure you have your accreditation information, like your accreditation start and end date, who you're accredited by, and the accreditation number. If you have a mission statement, that's part of the entry survey, have your mission statement ready just to type in. Your current enrollment information, this information is just so that our consultants know, walking into your program, how many families and children you're serving. Your staff education and training information, and anything related to the language that your educators speak. Yes, ma'am.
In my location, I have a dual accreditation. I have an elementary school as well as a preschool. The elementary school is accredited by Advanced Ed.
Okay.
The elementary preschool is through NMELS. When I do my enrollment count, I need that portion to be excluded because they're not part of the licensed part of my school.
That's correct.
Right? So do I exclude that enrollment number from that? How do I ensure that that's not included?
Only include your birth through right before kindergarten. So just include those kiddos. That's it. Okay. And your accreditation information, only your NECPA accreditation.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. And what about my before and after though? Because they were part of that licensed NECPA part.
You can put their numbers in there. So go ahead, it'll ask for school age information. Go ahead and put the enrollment numbers in there. Our school age criteria is not quite done. So we're only working with our center-based criteria right now, but let's include those numbers so we know how many classrooms you have and how many children you're serving. Okay? So when you go on to NMELS portal.newmexicokids.org, you're going to come to this screen, and you're going to get a login and you're going to get a sign up. The first thing you're going to do is sign up. It'll bring you to your login information. So this is you, the director, going in and putting your information in. It's going to want your email address. It has you re-enter it just to make sure you know who you are. And you're going to create a password. Please write it down. Make sure you know what your password is into the portal. And it's going to give you a password question like, what's your favorite pet, your first car, all those fun security questions. First, middle initial, last name. If you have any trainings that you have done under a previous last name, so if you started off single, got married, were married, got divorced, whatever previous last name you have, please put it in that section, because when we are uploading all the trainings into the database, we want to be able to capture who you are and give you credit for those trainings. Primary phone number. Which phone number is that? Is that your cell phone? Is that your work phone? What number is that the best to reach you by? Date of birth. I know a lot of people get skittish about date of birth. In order to match you to your trainings, we have to have your correct date of birth. If we have 10 Sally Smiths in the system and you want credit for your trainings, please make sure you put your date of birth. Gender, ethnicity, race, secondary phone type. What is your primary contact? What do you prefer? Do you want us to call you or want you to email? And then your address. Is this your work or home address? You have a choice of which one you would like to put for tracking purposes. And then you will get a sign-up confirmation. So you will get an email to the email address that you supplied us, thanking you for signing up, and then you'll be able to start in the system. Okay? So this is you. This is the director only doing this portion of it. So once you get here to thank you, you can click on the Start Now button. And when it takes you to the educator profile, we need you to create your educator profile first. So that way you're in the system, and not only that, but it walks you through it so that then you can sit with your staff while they do it as well. Okay? So you're going to click on Add Educator Information, and then it's going to give you this whole menu of user information. And you're just going to work your way through all of the tabs. There are some that are required. So if you skip over a required one, it will stop you when you try to submit and save later on and say, don't forget to go back to that section. So it's going to move all the information that you just did on the previous page over to this page. Anything that is the same, it's going to move it over here for you. And then you're going to let us know, how many years have I been doing this? And some of you are like, I don't want to count that many. But we want to know. We want to know how much. Let's celebrate how long you guys have been in the field. You're going to click the Next button, And this is why you need to either know your licensed name of your program or your license number. So many of us call our centers ABC Preschool, but it might be ABC Preschool doing business as XYZ Preschool. And it has to be the correct name. I know for our La Petite friends, I'm sure you guys, all your licenses look different. It could be La Petite number such and such, or the one on Southern. Everything looks a little bit different. So the best bet is to put in your license number. That way it finds the licensed name of your program. And it's going to search that for you. So it's going to pop up here for your center name and your license number. If that is not correct, please go back a page, because you want to make sure that you are assigning yourself to the right center. It's going to want to know your start date, the position that you hold, and when you took over that position. Your start date could have been January 1st of '99, but you took over as director June 1st of 2005. So make sure that you put the position in when you started as that position. And then average paid hours per week. I know most of our directors go, do I really want to show that? Because how many hours do you guys work, right? And then you're going to save this portion here. Okay?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Where you say with the year you started, because I transferred from California to here, the same company, like the year I started with the company as a director, or the year I started here as a director?
I would do the year you started here, because that's what New Mexico, that's what licensing is going to look for, is your start date from here. When it takes you into the early learning sector, I need you guys to be very mindful when you get to this section, and if something is not right, please shoot an email over to Erica and let us know. For you guys, it should read Focused Childcare, and it should read General Childcare. But if you're also a New Mexico Pre-K program, it should read New Mexico Pre-K as well. Okay? If it does not, please let us know. We had one come up last week with a sector that they've never been a part of. So we had to fix that. Okay? So if we find little anomalies like that, let us know so we can fix it. The email address and phone number are right there. So please shoot them an email or give a call, and someone will help you fix that. Okay? The reason we want you gated to the right sector is once we have the professional development registry up and running, you'll be able to go in and register for trainings online. And if you're not gated to the right sector, it's not going to let you see the right calendar. So if you're not gated to general childcare, then you're not going to be able to see all the amazing trainings that the TTAP is offering. So you want to make sure you're gated to the right sector. Then it's going to flip you into the educator profile. So again, this is still you. You're going to want to choose your education level. If you had a major in college, when did you receive that degree? Educational institution, not all of them are going to be listed there. So if you can't find it, it's okay. And then your action is to either save or cancel. You don't have to put this section, no, I'm sorry, Erica, we do have to put this section in. This is a required section, so please make sure you fill this out. And then hit save and then hit next. If you were to skip over this section, maybe your diploma is at home, it's not going to let you save at the end. Okay? So you want to make sure that you have that information. So have your file out ready to go when you complete this. And then it's going to have your professional development. So trainings, we are currently loading trainings into the system. So if you do a search, you may not find anything right now, but eventually you will see it start populating. Okay? If you wanted to go in and add trainings in, say you took a training somewhere else that was not part of TTAP, was not part of Focus with your consultant, if you have your certificate, you can go in and add that training in. And that way it's on it matches your profile in the portal, and your educators can do the same for themselves. So they can add a certificate in. Yes, ma'am. They can go back as far as they want if they choose to. They could. They don't have to, but they could. And a lot of people don't. Most everyone is going to start from now or sometime within so depending on when your licensing cycle is, depending on when you flip over into your next year, relative to licensing, you may put it in. But some people want to get credit. They want to show what they've done. And if they have the time to do that, they're more than welcome to do so. Yes, ma'am.
Is this training only related to focus or anything?
Anything. Anything. It could be focus trainings. It could be our TTAP trainings that you could take over time. It could be something, I know Lakeshore offers trainings. It could be anything. It could be any training that you want to get credit for on your, and in the portal to document for yourself. Professional coursework is documented here. So if you're taking college courses, you can put that in there as well. If you hold an educator license of any type, this can be put in this section. Okay? So you can put in the license type, your license date and expiration, your license number, what level that license falls in. And then the issuing state. You could want to get credit, want to see that you were issued a license from the state of Alabama. If you want to put that in your portal, you're more than welcome to do so on your profile. And if you received educator certifications, that's where they would go in the next section. So if you have a NAC certificate, you can put it in here to show that this is something that a certification that I hold. If you also wanted to, in addition to documenting the training, you can go in and add files, and you can actually upload the certificates in there as well. So many times our educators will give their original certificate to their director, and then they leave employment and they never ask for a copy. And so then they've lost all of those training certificates from the history of training that they've done. And here they can add the file there, and they have that certificate in their profile forever. This just shows you how this looks. So they have a transcript added, a Word document, and then they'd put another one. So one is listed as education, one is listed as professional development. So one is coursework, or it could be their college diploma. One is a training certificate. Okay? So if you get to the end and you're at the review and save page, it's going to let you know that certain areas are required if you skipped over them. And everything should say okay, and then you can hit review and save, and it saves all of your information in your profile. And that's what it looks like when everything is okay, and it'll give you the option to save at the bottom. If something is not okay, it'll guide you back to what is not okay, and will not give you an option to save. Okay. Let me stop there. Any questions on setting up your profile? Yes, ma'am.
The review and save, you can't go back. Like if you don't have information at that time, you have to enter it all over again.
Let me double check. Erica?
Yes, you have to save the first time through. So, but you can then go back and edit it later. So yes.
So you could put something in and then go back and edit it. Okay. So if you don't know what year your high school diploma was issued, you can't remember it off the top of your head, put something in and then you can go back and edit it. But you have to at least answer the questions.
So you can't stop the process and
No.
go back and finish it?
No, no. So once you start a profile, make sure you have all your information. The same with your educators. That's why I encourage you to sit with your educators while they do this. And I know that can get tedious, pulling people out of classrooms to do this. Have their staff file ready to go with you. That way all of the information that you need, start date, any trainings they had, education components, you have it right there, and that way you go through the profile and you're done, rather than having to start all over again. Okay?
Does their profile follow?
It does. It does. Back on the search page where you put in the license number and you attach yourself. So basically you're attaching yourself to that program. As the administrator, when you hire staff, you can go in, have them set up their profile, and then you go out and you can see them assigned to your center. If someone leaves you, you can detach someone from your center as well. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
We had an educator that started at one of the schools, and then 3 or 4 months they transferred to another school. There's a way to move that
Absolutely.
profile over?
You can. So everything that's in their profile just moves with them to the new school. So they don't lose anything that's in their profile. They're just detaching from one and adding to another.
That would be the same for the director too?
Absolutely. Isn't that great? The great thing is someone comes to you and they've worked for another focus program and have taken all those focus trainings, it's in their profile. You just snag them, they assign themselves to your program. No one can just randomly assign themselves to your program. You actually go on, you will get a message that someone has attached themselves to your program, and then you go in and approve, and then they become assigned to your program. So you can't just have random people doing that. You may see some, though, where they may have clicked on the wrong place, and then you can decline it. It'll let them know it's been declined. Yes, ma'am?
You said that there was a week or so to do this?
Yes.
Is that just for the director, or is that for all?
Just the director. Just the director. Once we are live in the system with you guys, once you've been fully trained, then we'll work toward that. Right now, it's just you guys, and that's by next Friday. So you have the rest of this week and all of next week. Yes, ma'am?
So with that in mind, we do this within the next 2 weeks, just our part.
Yes.
We're going to work on the educators. And then when will our focus consultant be in touch with us and come out for our first visit?
That is going to be over time. So we are working on caseloads right now to finalize those. I will be in touch with all the programs to let you know who you've been assigned to and when you can expect to see that person, okay? Or until you're assigned to someone, this is your point of contact, okay?
If someone leaves your program voluntarily or involuntarily, can you terminate?
Yes, you can. You can detach them from your program, absolutely. But all we're going to ask you to do by next Friday is just your profile and the application and entry survey. So we're not doing educators yet. Please hold off on that yet. Okay. Okay. So the next page is going to get you into the Focus portal. If you click on the Focus tab on the main page, and then you're going to say click here to go to the Focus portal. Again, you need that license number. This is where you as the director are going out there and claiming your program. And you affirm that you are the appropriate person to claim that program. When you get here, it's going to have the intro to Focus slideshow that you guys saw earlier today in English and in Spanish. We have it in both. And you can sit and view it. You guys have already viewed it, so click, 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 click through it. Unless you want to look at it all over again, you're more than welcome to. When you go to the application tab within that, you are going to see your school pop up. Make sure it's your school, your license number, and then you're going to click Start an Application. So kind of rules of the road. Make sure when you're moving forward and backwards that you're using the back button or the Save and Continue button. Do not use the browser back button. Make sure you use the back and save that are down lower. You will have a wizard on your left that tells you when things are complete or not, so just kind of be mindful of that as you're completing things. Please try it first before you contact support. We don't want to inundate poor Erica with 1,000 emails if you haven't tried it yet. Okay, so try it first. If you're getting an error message or something's just not working right, please let us know, okay? And again, there is the email address if you need support. So you're going to start filling out your application. Here is the wizard on the side that's going to tell you how far you are through the process. And there's a welcome page, and then you hit continue. So you're going to fill out information related to your program, the name of your program. Please make sure you use the name that is on your license, okay? And you'll have your license number. It should pre-populate. If it doesn't and you're getting any errors, please let us know. Or if for some reason you put the right license number in and it pre-populates with the wrong, again, please let us know as soon as possible. And then you're going to go in and fill out the rest of the information. Some are drop downs, most of them are fillable boxes. Hit Save and Continue at the bottom, and it's going to take you to the next page. This is asking you what type of program you have. Center, Family Child Care, After School Care, Head Start, New Mexico Pre-K. It's going to let you choose all that apply. We want to know everything going on in your program. And then we need to know what your current star level is. If it does not pre-populate correctly, again, please let us know. The next part is relative to licensing. If your program unfortunately is on a current conditions of operation or any type of sanction, we do need to know that as you fill out your application. At the bottom, it says currently accredited, yes or no. Okay, if you click no, it's going to skip the next step automatically. If you click yes, it's going to take you to this page, and it's going to need to know your accrediting body, your accreditation number, your start date, and date of your next renewal. And then it's going to add it. Once you click add, it's going to add it here at the bottom. If you entered something wrong, you can delete it and go back and do it again, not a big deal. This is all about your enrollment. So what is the primary language spoken? And we do give an option of English only, Spanish only, or English Spanish, so that we know that you do have some bilingual educators in there as well. Okay? So please give us your current enrollment. Every classroom, just who's in there right now, so we can have an idea of for the consultant coming out. And then current enrollment by classroom. And you're going to hit save and continue and move on to the next. Then we're going to want to know how many educators you have, full-time versus part-time, and it tallies the total number of educators in your program for you. And then, during the past 12 months, how many educators were hired? How many are new? And then also, how many have left? Turnover has been our biggest challenge. 40% turnover rate in the state of New Mexico right now. That has been our biggest challenge, getting people through trainings, being able to sustain the implementation of those trainings to get people verified at their STAR level. So we want to know that going in so we can figure out how to best support. One of our first action plans could be, how can we support your staff for lower turnover? Again, save and continue when you get to the bottom. The next is highest education level. Please make sure you're only counting their highest. So if you have 10 staff with a high school diploma, and 2 of those have their associates, then you have 8 staff with a high school diploma and 2 with an associate's. Please make sure you're only counting every staff member one time. Then it's going to pop you over to the entry survey. We did a lot of work. Luis and I were actually on the same committee together that worked on the entry survey to help develop questions that would give the consultants a really good idea of who your program is. All the components of your program, from lesson planning to observation and assessment, how you're supporting your staff, all of those great questions that our consultants need to know walking in to know how to best support your program. You're going to go through, and most of them are drop-down answers, and you're going to fill them out and click Save and Continue. Again, general program questions, administrative and instructional leadership questions, environment questions, curriculum questions, assessment practices, and when you are completed, we do give an option to download and or print, so you can save your work that you did, and then you click Submit and you're done. You will get this box say that your application has been submitted, and you will receive an email confirmation like this. So for a program who's not yet in focus, they would get this email, and then they would be contacted. You guys know you're in focus, so you're still going to get the email, but you're going to get an email from me about focus, about WELS trainings coming up. So anything that's relative to the portal, any trainings coming up, you'll get an email from me about that. Okay? Again, here is our email. It's put in there a lot of different times. So if you need support, please do not hesitate to ask for it, okay? And that is it for the portal.
So you said that will be sent to us?
Yes. So this PowerPoint will be sent to you guys either later today or tomorrow, so that you can start working your way through your profile and also through the application and entry survey. Okay. Any questions on that? If you have questions, please shoot me an email. If you have technical questions about something not working, then it'll go to Erica, okay?